Much just a better overall game. Something that we've been talking about a lot with the guys, and it's easy to talk about when you're not in the locker room, in the huddles, in the practices, or not a player or a coach about confidence. And it's easy to say we got to be more confident. We got to get a lot more confidence. We got to figure it out. But it's just one of those things that sometimes when you lose it, it's tough to get back, and it comes back kind of in stages. And I thought tonight was just a great step back toward playing kind of the way we've been playing. I thought we had a lot of deflections in the first half, even though they didn't lead to turnovers. I thought we did a lot better. We were much, I think, more in tune just with each other than we've been lately. We didn't let things get us down to the same level that we have been lately. And when you talk about being confident, we always talk, or people always think or like to talk about confidence with shooting. But a lot of being a defender and being on a team defense and being in a scheme and a scouting report has to do with confidence defensively. And I thought tonight we showed that a lot more. We guarded without fouling. We had a couple, of course, mistakes where we let guys get good looks, but outside of that, combined with one of our better offensive games of the year, if not the best one, I thought it was definitely a good step back in the right direction.
Yeah, you said you were going to tweak the defense coming into this game. How did that play out? What did you think of what you saw?
I thought the guys did a really good job of it for implementing something with Wyoming that has a 5 that can shoot the way that he did or the way that he does. I thought the guys did a really good job. I thought Vic had a lot of activity. Vic's an absolute monster in pick and roll defense. He's unpredictable in a good way. He's unpredictable towards a ball handler, which can make things a little more difficult if you don't know exactly what he's going to do. So he did a really good job, I thought, of getting, kind of stopping the ball and then getting back. And guys just did a much better job of keeping the ball in front and guarding it and not allowing as many kick-out threes as we've been giving up.
It seemed like you went a little bit deeper into the bench, and I think you almost got 30 points from those reserves. Was that part of the plan going in to sort of just get more bodies on the floor, be more, sort of substituting more freely, or what was the thought there? Yeah,
we just talk a lot about the guys about, again, while we're going through this stretch where we're not, playing with the same level of confidence and security, sometimes it's just about, cycling guys through in little shorter stretches and letting them just go out there, just try to have fun, play hard, and just kind of get lost in the game. But at the same time, not leaving them out there too long, so that if there is a mistake that's made while being tired, it doesn't. It's not as kind of deflating as it is, a little bit earlier when you're a little bit fresher.
I think you guys shot something like 55% from 3. What did you see from that specifically? How were you guys getting those looks, and do you feel like those are consistent looks you can get going forward?
I think so. I thought the guys just did a really good job of attacking the rim. I thought. And of course, I haven't seen it yet on film, but when we go back and watch it, I think the plays where we have bad spacing and the plays where we over-dribble are really going to stand out. Because, just right now from memory, I think, there's a couple, 2 or 3 that I can remember, and it just felt just different than the rest of the possessions offensively. So I just thought we had better spacing. I thought we had better timing. I thought the guys did a really good job of using picks. Ducell especially does a great job of blowing up screens, and I thought though that tonight the guys did a good job of setting him up. The guy setting a pick did a good job, make sure he was set, and the ball handler was able to use it. And anytime we can create advantages like that, I think we got a lot of guys that can make plays.
How important was Jordan McCabe's 3 right before halftime?
Oh, it was huge. It was huge because when you have an offensive play at the end of a half, and knowing that they get the ball back, so it's something that can swing a game pretty good if you get back-to-back buckets to kind of end a half, and then you get the ball to start it. So for him to make that 3, it was just big because it kind of countered the 3 that they had just made. To 10 on the scoreboard looks a lot different than the 7.
And then last one, Shane Noel seems like one of those guys who really kind of gave you something off the bench today. What did you like about what he did for you guys?
What I really liked the most is he went out there and played like he's been playing 20 minutes a night all year. Shane knows he can shoot it. We know he can shoot it. So for him to, shoot even the first two and not even hesitate to let the third one fly, it was great to see because the last thing you want as a coach, as a staff or a team is somebody who hasn't been asked to do a ton to go out there and be timid. And so he went out there, he played really hard. I thought, again, without watching the film, I thought he did a great job defensively of kind of being a presence. There aren't a lot of guys that look like Shane Noel. He's built to play basketball, and I thought tonight he did a really good job of that.
Kevin, 5 assists in the first half. I believe 5 in the first 6+ of the second half. When things have gone wrong for this group in the past, is that kind of something that you've noticed on the offensive end, that the ball just sticks?
Without a doubt, that and spacing. I think if you combine those two things, you can really point to every stretch where we struggle. We're not low enough on the baseline to pull the defenders down. Sometimes we'll have somebody stand at the top of the floor in the middle third, and it really it's just hard to make anything happen. And then it's really hard to create for anybody else either. If you have bad spacing. So, but Wyoming is also probably a little unique. I don't know off the top of my head, but they're not a team that gives up a lot of assists. They do a really good job of guarding pick and rolls, kind of in a two-man team, and staying with shooters. So for us to be able to get off 20 or nearly 20 good looks, and then of course make 55% of them, I think is a recipe that if you can take that against Wyoming, you're going to take it every time.
And you actually just spoke about the conversation, obviously, with the group coming into tonight's game, with obviously a lot of it being about confidence. When Wyoming wouldn't kind of go away in that second half, what was kind of those conversations like in the huddle, understanding that the confidence kind of needed to ramp up in that moment?
Yeah, it was. We pushed it out to 16 and had a really good kind of feeling there, and then just bang, 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 3 threes, and it's 7, and for a split second, you're like, no way, come on, like. Guys have been through enough in the last few weeks. So, they see some shots go in that are really tough. But that's what I think that was what was different about tonight than maybe even the last few weeks. Even though the situation was a little bit different, there wasn't anybody hanging their head. There wasn't any sense of here we go again, or any sense of kind of splintering off on their own. It was great in the huddles. The guys were talking, they were communicating. And figuring out. And when this group, bands together and becomes problem solvers together, they've shown it's an elite defensive group.
Speaking to that somewhat, when the team has been searching for that energy level or that swagger during this losing stretch, is one win enough to sort of get things back on track, or is that you think that's an ongoing process, or where's that mentality now, and where does it go from here?
Yeah, I think, for everybody individually, of course, it's different. But there's a lot of things that we'll be able to get from the film. And it's always different after a win. The film's different. Walking into the gym's different. The day off is different. So it's definitely a step in the right direction. But at the same time, if anybody watched that New Mexico-Reno game last night, Reno is playing so well. They play so hard, and they're playing incredibly physical and well together. So it's definitely a step in the right direction, but at the same time, we got to know and understand that now we got to take another step forward if we want to beat a pretty good Reno team.
I just wanted to ask about toughness in the lane. They only had 2 second chance points. They had 7 offensive rebounds, but I think like 5 of them came on 2 trips. So I just wanted you to comment on what you saw from a toughness standpoint in the paint.
Well, I just thought the guys did a really good job of when they were guarding the ball or when they were helping. We weren't, we didn't give up any just uncontested layups. Maldonado made a really good move in the first half on the baseline where he did get to the other side of the rim and had a little reverse layup. But outside of that, nothing comes to mind where we just, guys were just driven by and allowed just kind of a free shot at the rim without some sort of resistance. But at the same time, when those shots are going up, you got to have 5 guys in there in the paint ready to go after it and rebound it. And, there were a couple, I thought that there were a couple times where, Wyoming had a good look at it and maybe it didn't go in. But, in the past few games, I think we probably give up an offensive rebound for a layup. And tonight, I thought especially the guards did a really good job of crashing down and making sure it wasn't just going to be an easy putback.
Thank you.
All right, first off, Jordan, just what was kind of going through your head on that last shot at the end of the first half? Can you walk us through that, and how important was that to keeping you guys on the front foot going into the second half?
Oh, I mean, it's a shot, but my thought process was only I'm going to swing this to EJ, and either he's going to shoot it and make it, or he's going to throw it back to me, and then I'm going to shoot it and make it. That was pretty much it. That was it.
EJ, how big was Shane Noel's minutes today? I mean, you guys were shorthanded anyway, so it seems like he really gave you something extra.
Nah, it was awesome, man. See him stay ready, man. He works at practice every single day, and we lose somebody like Luis, somebody who's so important to our team, energy-wise, rebounding every aspect. And he stepped into that role, and he did a great job tonight, against a great team, a tough team to play against. So congratulations to him, and be ready for next game. So I tell him.
Jordan, just how important was EJ and Keyshawn down the stretch for you guys offensively?
I think that's been the biggest thing, over our stretch where we struggle is, we got to get them in spots to make plays because they can make them for themselves and others very, very well. So that was kind of the bulk of the conversation leading up to how we get back on track is how we get, EJ in positions where he's effective and we know where those spots are. And same thing with Keyshawn. We know what he does well. We know what kind of all of our guys do well. It's about trying to get them in spots where they can be effective as much as possible.
EJ, you guys hit a little bit of a rough patch, but how important was it to get this win? What do you think this can do for you guys now that you're sort of back on the winning track?
Well, I think it's great. I mean, it's another opportunity for us we struggle with stacking practices in the summer. Now it's on us to stack games. So it's a great opportunity for us against a great Reno team that just beat New Mexico. So great opportunity for us to come out and not be satisfied and go to practice these next 3 days or 2 days and work hard and be ready for the game Saturday.
And Jordan, Kevin said that he was going to, make some adjustments to the defense that, the guys have been playing all year. Can you detail what some of those adjustments were, and how do you think you guys handled it, against a live opponent?
Yeah, the biggest adjustment was keep the ball in front. At the Division I level, you give straight line drives to any player who's on the floor, they're going to make plays for others. And we're definitely not where we still need to be. We recognize that. But like you had just said, we made an adjustment this week, and now it's about shoring up some of those mistakes that we'll see on film. And the main thing is keeping the ball in front. It sounds so simple, but it is. It's everything. When they don't have momentum, they have to take tough shots. The game becomes easier for us.
All right, thanks, guys.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.